How are we doing, Robust family? Look, before this show starts, which I know you're going to enjoy, can I ask you just to do me a small favor? I need all of you to give a robust smash to that like and subscribe button. Why? Because it helps us a lot. We want to get this material out there, and it makes sure that you do not miss a breakfast show beat on this Liberty Radio YouTube channel. All right, guys, do it right now, and I'll see you in the show. We can say safely, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Oh yes, guys, I'm your host, Robert Ashitey, and this is your breakfast show. Thank you for joining me this morning. And also in the studios today, we have the lady of sound herself. It's Kathleen in the house. Kathleen, that intro doesn't get old, does it?
Which one?
The intro.
Yeah, it's nice. Very nice.
Ain't nobody gonna die today. Save that trouble for another day. Hey, gonna have a good day. I'm telling you, Kat. I'm telling you. How you feeling today, Kat?
I'm alright.
Yeah, you already fired wide and inspired?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's Thursday Relationship Power Day.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Usually Thursdays we have a lot of content to kind of work through. You know, Thursday it's all about J'amour and the issues of the heart. And I'm looking forward to today, Kat. I'm looking forward to today because not only do we learn a lot, but we get elements from the love therapy from Bishop.
Oh, wow.
Last week Thursday, and I know,
Lovely.
and I think you've seen some of the material we have. You've seen some of the material.
Have I?
Yes, yeah, because you're gonna use the material, right? Sorry, that's our guest. But anyway, it's the therapy amor, and you're ready. You fired up, right?
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely. And by the way, next to you we have the soldier of righteousness has arrived. 2 years marinating in the fields. It's the one and only Ailton. Good morning, Ailton.
Hello, everyone.
How are we doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Are you a morning person?
I have to be now.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I mean, I like it. I like the way I get everything that I need to do done.
Yeah, you feel like you get more of a day when you start in the morning.
100%,
Yeah, oh, Kat's like,
100%.
yeah. I think this is great. Imagine you do something, you start early, right? So you get engaged early, and you have the whole day to choose what you want to do.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, it's great having you on the show, Ailton. All right.
To be here.
So look, man, as well as Ailton and Kat, we're going to be having the Table of Justice propagated today because we're looking at the subject of relationship power. You know, one of the things that we're big on the Liberty Radio platform is having a really good spiritual life and relationship with God. But guess what? After that comes what? Your love life. The one main thing that no matter how strong and powerful you are in your faith could be the kryptonite to bring a person who's doing well down. And so it really is important, even though we've been in a relationship for a long time or we're looking to get into a relationship, or we're just single. We're on an island right now, maybe like Ailton, because these single people nowadays, they always got a card on their sleeve somehow, and you find out that they're having a wedding day. And you're like, where'd that come from? Like, you're there, mind your business on the Saturday, and next thing they're live streaming their wedding on the altar, and they're on the altar.
Wow.
And like, you're like, where'd that come from? Where'd that come from?
Like, don't worry, Robert. You'll know.
Yeah, okay,
I'll tell you.
I appreciate that.
You.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I'm like, did they even meet up for a coffee? But people have been blessed, and it's a really important thing. So we learn a lot today, and we're going to go into it. We have our guest that's going to be joining us, the one and only Samuel Dankwa. He's going to be joining us today, and it's a real privilege to have him on the show. I believe he's downstairs already, and Selena Green is power walking it because all of the bosses rejected her, and she's like, you know what? She's Lady Fitness. She's like, I know exactly what to do, and so she is making her way to the studio. She should be with us very, very shortly. Let's just have a look quickly in our live chat. So we have Abba N in Park Station, South Africa. Oh, there's somebody at the door. There's somebody at the door. Hello. It's okay. It's a good morning. It's Samuel Dankwa. Let's give a round of applause. Hey. Please take a seat, Samuel. Take a seat, such a living God. How are you today? Good. I'm gonna let you settle in. Don't worry, this is breakfast show time. This is breakfast. It's like the kitchen in your house. You have people walk in and walk out. That's breakfast show vibe, yeah? So we're good. So while he settles in, let's just have a look here at the live chat. Please feel free to put the headphones on, Samuel. You're good. You're looking fresh today. You're looking fresh, man.
Had to make the part.
Yeah, you're looking fresh, man. I see you. I'm like, if he's already taken. He's off the grid. It's all right. It's okay. Relationship Power Thursday. All right. So look, guys, we've got Albert in Park Station, South Africa. Good morning to all of you guys down there. Good morning also to the one and only Neil Priscilla in Botswana this morning, saying good morning, fam. We have also Mark.
I missed someone.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, be it far from me, Shabba Danaya. This morning we had our first breakfast show talker. It's the one, the only, Mr. Gillette Smart. Play that track, Cat.
Hold on, I need to find it.
Okay. Mr. Gillette Smart says, good morning, breakfast show staffs and Mr. Robert. Have a great day ahead with your family. All blessings from the Creator. Amen. This is Gillette Smart in the morning. Sammy, you remember this song? Do you remember this song?
It sounds familiar.
See, God washed your life so much. Everything's just blank. You don't remember this track?
It sounds familiar. I wasn't really a music person.
Oh.
I enjoyed the tunes. I would dance to them.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Didn't really know who sang it or the name.
Wow.
Or didn't really keep
Okay.
track of, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, this bit.
You do that. Okay, this is Mr. Gillette Smart's theme tune here in Finsbury Park. So even our listeners that they're breakfast show faithfuls for a long time, they have their own theme tune when they say hi.
Wow. Oh yeah,
So,
Malia also have it.
Malia has a theme tune. Yes, you know how we do it. Yes.
Wow.
We've got family here. We've got the family in the house. Fantastic. So everybody has their theme tune. So we've got Mr. Gillette Smart. We've got Mark in Croydon here today. And guess what we have to say to Croydon? Good morning to you, Mark, over there in Croydon, saying, good morning, sir. Have a blessed day, everyone. That's the spirit. We also have the one only Clive from Luton. Oh, sorry, my mistake. You see, the text is too small.
Yeah.
The text is too...
I've told Pastor already.
Okay, you see, you guys were on my case the first time I used it. Now you're all
No, but
understanding.
we can read it here.
Of course you can read it. Yeah, oh, you would say that. Simon, can you believe these people,
I really hurt your feelings, right?
Triggered.
I have no strong feelings about the matter, but I like it when my point gets proven. I like it when time passes.
It keeps coming back up every day. Like.
It keeps coming back. No, but you guys understand, so don't even try it. Don't even try it, guys. All right, they tried to. Simon, you can't believe they tried to come with what's it, dad vibes, because I couldn't read the new text or the new layout. He's like, I'm like,
send them to the naughty corner.
Naughty corner.
I think we need to.
Oh.
I think that's a good.
Is it Daddy Takeover today?
It's Daddy Takeover. You better recognize.
Corner here.
There's two of us. You better behave yourself, man. And both from Ghana, so it's old school, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna see the stick fly across the room. All right, beautiful. So we have So we have Olivia in Luton saying morning, or actually commuting to work today rather than usually working from home. Okay, so I hope it goes well. Let us know how it goes. Let us know what the difference is like for you, Olivia, over there in Luton. We have Laurette in Jamaica saying good morning, Robert and Kat. It's Thankful Thursday. Hope everyone has a blessed and prosperous day in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. Receive it right now. We have David saying good morning, BSF. Hope everyone has a blessed and powerful Thursday. And we also have Jeanette's in the house.
Oh.
Jeanette's in the house.
Oh.
You know, I don't know how often you listen to the breakfast show, but you know what happens when Jeanette's in the house? It goes like this.
Hold on.
Yeah, what?
Turn the fan to quiet.
Yeah,
'cause
okay.
It's on right now.
Okay, it's a moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Let's introduce Janet. That's it, Samuel. That's it. Hey, that's it. Oh, that's it. Samuel's in it. He's catching it.
Wow.
It's contagious.
Janet. Right, here's my part. Here we go. Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
Catch you.
Huh?
Here we go. Ailton. Okay, everyone, arms up. Open camera. Open camera. Open camera, Samuel. Hands up. Turn the head. All right, guys. There's only one. All the way in Nottingham. It's the one and only Miss Janet. All right, Janet. Kat's going. She's traveling now. When this song plays, Kat just goes into a zone. It's great to have you with us, Janet, all the way from Nottingham. Look, guys, let's get the show on the road. We've done our introductions this morning, but like I said, it's Relationship Power Thursday. I'm really excited. So Samuel, obviously, if you tune into the Breakfast Show, most times the Breakfast Show is a bit different. So it's not going to be a testimonial, but we're going to be looking at elements of last week's Love Talk.
Okay.
We even have a clip from, because I remember we did a call-in one time, remember? And we broke down
yes, we did.
we broke down your interview on the altar, which was really nice, by the way.
Yes.
He was really powerful. Yeah, I never forget you, you know. I never forget you. I never forget when I first met you. I never forget. I think it was a science event. Was it science event? Yeah, because I think you came to the science event,
Yes,
right?
I did, yeah.
And obviously you would tell us your story from it. I'm like, soldiers. It's a journey. We're all in this journey.
It's a journey.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, we're going to be looking at elements of love talk. We've got some TikTok shocks that we're going to be looking at today. All that and much more happening as we go into our Thursday here on the Breakfast Show. So let's go for a very short time out. I'm going to have a check to see how the one and only Cylinder Green's doing, our general. And hopefully we'll see I Am Will parachute in through the glass ceiling, and we're going to get our show started today. I'm excited. How are you feeling?
I'm ready, excited.
Yes, this
Ready
is
to
it.
be empowered.
This is how we go. We're gonna be learning today. It's lovely. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We're right back in just a moment. Kat, what's going to go for us?
Cover Me by Rhino Faye.
Cover Me by Rhino Faye. Okay. All right, I'm looking forward to this one. Enjoy. We're gonna have a good day. How you doing, guys? This is Robert here, your boss presenter, and this is your breakfast show. I hope you've been enjoying the tracks I've been playing for you, courtesy of the one and only Kathleen. And also, we have the Doodle Sound, Hilton. All right, guys, and guess what? The table of justice is now being fulfilled. We're waiting for I Am Will, but we have our two breakfast show family members here. The one and only Mr. Samuel Dankwa. Yes, Samuel Dankwa is in the house, and we also have the one and only Selena Green in the house. Yes, Wonder Woman has entered the building. Absolutely, I'm excited to have these two in the house. We've been on this whole journey of faith for a long time with these two, and I'm really excited to see as we unpack all the things that Bishop's been sharing with us today on Relationship Power. I mean, like, I know, Mr. Samuel, you never speak. If you are tuned into the Breakfast Show, I've never seen you speak as much. I think twice I can remember.
Yeah.
Twice.
I'm an observer. I like to take things in and then.
We don't say observer here.
Okay.
We call them the hawker stalkers.
Okay.
Have you heard about the hawker stalker? Have you heard about it?
I'm not that one.
No? No? Okay. Let me explain to you about the hawker stalker. Check this out. Let me tell you about the mighty hawk. A powerful bird of prey that has a wingspan when opened up can strike fear into the heart of any mortal man. Now, the interesting thing about this wonderful bird of prey is it can soar 100 feet into the air and with its perfect macular vision see everything happening on the ground, but will not get involved unless it needs to eat. So on the Breakfast Show, we have a saying, don't be a hawker stalker. Make sure your Breakfast Show talker.
Okay.
I just had to let it out.
It's that's how it goes. 'Cause, yeah, that's it. So that's it. So,
What should I be then?
huh?
What should I be?
Well,
A hyena?
Breakfast Show faithful talker. Yeah. But this is it. Look, I know some of you got children, some of you are driving, some of you got different things happening, so that's perfectly fine. But we always love the communication. All right. And Selena Green,
Yes.
you know, you've been with us for a very, very long time on the Breakfast Show.
For a while, yeah.
It's been awesome. I know you've had your own journey as well,
Yeah,
which has been phenomenal. We've actually got a video of you. Yeah, we actually got a video of you. We actually want to put you on the spot. Yeah. Yeah, I know which one, right? When we play this video, we have to put the background music on her theme tune. All right. So are you ready for this? Okay, let's play the one and only Selena Green theme tune. It's that time.
Oh, wow.
Take it away, Kat.
Morning, Robert. It's Saturday morning. And,
Turn up her one higher, the background music higher.
For the Shape Up Challenge, taking my morning Saturday walk for about 30 minutes.
I'm on a nice road called the Bishop's Avenue, which is the road called the Millionaire's
Do you remember that?
Road.
Yes, I do.
And there's a lot of nice mansions around.
I think so. I think so.
So I'm taking my morning walk, and after 2 intense workouts,
Nice choice of music.
decided to take a nice long walk in my area. There's somebody else there.
All right, bring it back. So look, so we've been watching. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh wait. Oh sorry, it was getting good. Okay, play again. That's it. Put a Wonder Woman now. Go ahead.
Keep working.
That's
Nice
it.
high reps.
That's it.
Feel that stretch.
That's it.
Wow, in the middle of nowhere as well.
Yes.
5-1. Come on.
Yep. That's
That was
it.
tough days.
Those were tough days. Those are
You
the
can do
beginning.
it, right? You can do it. Come on.
Things got better.
I think we need an update.
We need,
Yeah,
an
we need an update.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
So since those early days, how things going? How things going?
I could do handstands.
Yes.
I can do
Oh,
all
wow.
sorts of things now. Crazy things.
Yeah.
Never thought I could do before. Now
Yeah.
I can do
Handstand
it.
for how long?
For about 30 seconds.
Really?
But against the wall.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't do
That's
it.
cheating.
Not yet. I'm not there yet.
Okay.
Not there yet.
I mean, but coming from the you know, the leg thing.
Crutches, yeah,
Yeah,
no.
like, you know, it's a big change,
yeah,
you know.
it is, yeah.
So clearly, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, but
No,
definitely,
it's
you know,
a
you've come back
process.
on the show. You're still doing your thing, and
Yeah.
we're really excited.
That's one thing that I really like in the training I've been doing. Is
Yeah.
the time and investment.
Yeah.
And everyone's different, you know. I would see my personal trainers clients who were doing all sorts of crazy things.
Yeah.
But it took time for me to get there. I couldn't
That's
get
right.
there straight away.
Well, you know, if I need a personal bodyguard, I'm hiring you. I have that confidence, man. I have that
expensive, you know.
confidence. Definitely, guys. Check out Selena Green's Instagram. What was it again?
Oh, it's Selena A_Green.
Selena A_Green. Yeah. Yeah. Selena A_Green. Or just message me. You see, she's doing all kinds of stuff, man. Like,
Crazy stuff.
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
That's it. Look, we have to take care of ourselves. I know you're big on taking care of yourself.
We have to.
Yeah.
We have to.
I think thinking about longevity, you know, it's not vanity. It's longevity. When
Absolutely.
you're 60, you still want to be able to balance. You still want to be able to bend. You
Yeah.
still want to be able to
You're
not
carry
60.
yourself well.
70.
You're not
No,
60.
no. I'm saying when I get there.
Oh, okay.
When I get there.
I know, it's like miracles. Abraham is
When I
happening.
get there.
Well, you know what? And the other good thing about taking care of yourself is, you know, especially if you're in the single market, you want to be in good condition, right? You want to you don't want to give someone a broken down car. You want to give someone a car that's functioning, and you expect something that's functioning well as well. So definitely got to take care of yourself. So it's great to have you with us on the show. I just want to reach out to our breakfast show talkers now. We have anonymous ending. I don't know. It just says anonymous. Good morning, BSF. Love you still as for participating on the show. Gets really personal, especially Thursday, but really helpful and put into practice. Not easy, but worth it. Well done. We have Diana from Bullring. Okay, because you're here, Samuel, I have to put a little bit about Amelia in this. Come on in. Take it.
La da da da. La da da da. I carry. Yeah.
Oh.
Just hit.
Come on, Malia.
No, Amelia. So that's Melia's your stepdaughter.
Yeah.
Beautiful family. Beautiful family. And obviously we always hear her voice here in the morning on the show.
We do.
Yeah, does that seem creepy for you? thank God you know I'm the same guy, right? That's it. She got her own section. She part of the playlist now.
What is
It's
she
amazing.
actually saying? It's cute, but what is she saying?
The reference.
It's a basis. It's a song. It's a
Oh,
song.
it's a
So da
song.
da 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 da.
Okay,
Look
okay,
at
I'm
me. Look at me. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it's that song,
Cute,
you know that
I couldn't
song.
figure it
I
out.
thought it was just a sound effect, but it's actually a
It's part of a song, yeah, because she likes that song, and Diana sent it over to us, and I was like, let's mix it up.
That's nice.
It became a
Very
thing.
nice.
This is your show, guys. This is your show. You guys make the show. All right. Also, we have here Malachi in Bullring. That's the guy. Malachi is here. He's saying, good morning, everyone. Familiar face there. Hey, this is it. Leon.
Surprise.
Yeah, say good morning. Say good morning. Say good morning. Say good morning.
Good
Malachi.
morning.
Morning.
That's it.
Good morning, son.
Yeah, that's it. You're a proper Ghanaian dad, you know. It says, you know, I say no flavor. It just says it's like, yes, you receive it now. You're blessed. We have Leonardo saying good morning. Oh, Shine Ad Conte saying Edmonton connected. So we got a lot of comments here. Lady Jazz is in the house from Kilburn. So my breakfast show family, and it's kicking off. Matthew from Edmonton's here saying Edmonton. We got a lot of Edmonton today.
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
Are you Edmonton? Beautiful. Oh.
Edmonton and Birmingham, like they're all.
Edmonton breakthrough.
I'm telling you, this is the spirit.
Right.
That pigeon, Rob. Morning all. This is from Glasgow.
Pink. Is it pigeon or pigeon? Yeah.
Pigeon. And Jessica says, good morning all in France. Wow, nice to have you guys with us. So look, let's get into this now. We have a clip here. Well, actually, we have a few figures here. Why is love life so important? Why is love talk that we have every Thursday in our help centers at 8 p.m. so important? Why? Because their figures can be a bit startling as to why couples actually separate. All right, and so we got a little picture here that I like to use here, and basically what it says here. All right, and whether the accuracy is on point or not, the figures are quite generic, and it says here 73% of couples break up because lack of commitment. So not both decide to remain committed. 56% excessive arguing. So like me can't take it no more, I'm out. 55 infidelity and unfaithfulness. 46% marrying too young, they say. All right. 45% unrealistic expectations. I think that's probably one of the key things here, right? They're at number 45%, but I think it's, if they have to verbalize it, I think that's a huge one.
Yeah.
45% lack of equality in the relationship. I think that comes under expectations as well. 41% lack of preparation of marriage. All right, love therapy, 8 p.m. guys. 25% domestic violence or abuse. You see how that's the minority, but it's usually things that are internal that's actually happening and causing the problems, right, Samuel?
It is. You know, relationship. For me, the success of any relationship is summed up by how much you give.
Yeah.
Giving is the key. The human nature and the human condition, we're so complex with so many things internally. If the person doesn't give, you're not going to have anything back in return. And
normally, Selena, we don't really understand. We don't normally like it that way, right? Human beings, normally we like, what can I receive?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a selfish thing because then you're never really going to be satisfied. You're going to want from the person. You don't give anything. There's no balance.
Yeah.
And then we have excessive arguing, 56%. So look, we're going into it today, guys. So the stats and figures are there, but the love therapy is doing an awesome job at giving us that information so we can make some really good choices if we're single and put some really good things into practice if we're already in a relationship. Sammy, how long have you been married for now?
It'll be 11 years in August.
So you've done a decade and a year.
Already.
Soldier of the living God.
Oh, that's gone fast.
I know, right? So quick.
Wow.
I felt like I was in the science event, and then all of a sudden, you got the family and everything. God bless you. It's like, wow, this is wonderful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. All right, so let's go into it. So we got a clip here that we're going to show you. So the first one here, why is the love therapy so important? This is what we're asking today. We like to ask this question, and we've got a clip here because maybe, like someone, you're waiting. You're here, you believe in God, and you're waiting for someone that one top, yeah. You're waiting for middle there it is, and you're waiting, and the situation may feel like this. Check this out.
Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters forever.
Yep, the struggle is real, right?
Oh, man.
Like, yeah, right, Selena. Like, right,
I knew you were going to come to me.
right? Isn't it?
Yeah, I decided that doesn't work. You have to do things. You have to prepare yourself. You have to keep moving.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be able to work on yourself, invest in yourself, learn, do the things that you like, because you have to come to the relationship with something.
Yeah.
You have to come with interesting experiences, things you've learned and things that you want to share. So just sitting there and waiting,
Yeah.
It
That's
doesn't
true.
work.
I even-
dependent on God, yes.
Yeah.
I hear
but
that.
not just not doing anything. It
I
doesn't
hear
work.
that because I even once had a conversation with someone and they said, "Oh no, I'm gonna be on the altar as a female. So yeah, I'm waiting, and I'm like,
Okay.
why don't you start something? Why don't you
Right,
develop something? Why don't you engage into something?
Yes.
One, because God knows if you're going to be called, you have a desire, but and secondly, because when you go, then you'll be even more valuable. You have even more skills, right? But many times people are just in waiting, and that's, I think, where the problems can actually come, right?
Exactly.
And as you said, is lack of preparation. You know, preparing yourself, you're acting.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's a time for everything.
Yeah.
Once you're ready, you will know you're ready. And God will give you that assurance you're ready for the next step.
Yeah.
So go out there and find a person.
Beautiful.
So even whilst in the stage of preparing yourself, you can be active in bettering yourself.
Yeah.
You know, no one comes into a marriage perfect.
Yeah.
We need to learn how to love,
Yeah.
how to give, as we said before. The human nature is very selfish.
Yes.
So
I think
if
that's
you
the
don't
key
learn
thing
how
today.
to be a
It's true.
giver,
Yeah.
how can you,
Yeah.
you know, even if you find the right person? So
Yeah.
preparing yourself is also acting and making sure that you're keeping yourself, you know, ready for the time.
Yeah.
I love that. Thankfully. All right. And also, guys, moving on, why the love talk is very, very important. I've got another clip here that I want to show you guys. And I think you're going to like this one because ideally, what's going to happen? Basically, sometimes we want to hold on to someone, want to hold on to something. But if you prepare yourself and you know your value, that one in the middle, you know, and maybe you come into singles hour and singles hour doesn't go the way it planned. Some people act strange or act up, but maybe you might be like this gentleman you're about to see here, who's like this.
Well, I don't think we should see each other anymore.
Oh, that's okay.
What?
No, it's fine. No problem. I'll meet somebody else. Sure. See, things always even out for me. It's fine. Anyway, it's been really nice dating you for a while. And good luck. Children coming round the
That's how to flip her around with somebody dumps, isn't it? Sheila feeling
He
bad.
didn't even ask why.
He didn't ask why.
ask any
He didn't.
questions.
It's like, you know, the guy was okay. He's okay. You know, and I think this is the thing, right? It wasn't woe is me or this, that. He was okay, right? The reason why, because you're a single lady, and I must say you're a very nice looking, level-headed single lady, and that's why I kind of pick on you on this particular subject, right? Because I believe you tick a lot of boxes, all right? And I believe that even gentlemen who probably look at you, and do you know what I mean? And so I mean, how important is it to be like that?
There has to be a balance because from that video, he didn't even ask any questions.
Yeah.
Why did you think that way? Why did you make that decision? Nothing. It was just all about himself. That's a big problem.
Oh, you think that was a problem?
I think so because when he was saying, you know, things just always
work out for him.
Really, on what grounds?
Okay.
On what
That's
grounds?
interesting.
I just found it, for me personally, I would at least, even if I did think like that, I would still want to ask why.
Okay.
What were your thoughts? Why did this not work out in your mind? Was there some? I would want some feedback.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, next year we have the one with I am Will. How you doing? I am Will.
Will.
Everything's Chris. Good to have you back with us, mi amigo. You've just parachuted in. Great to have you with us. So we're keeping it moving. Now, let me ask you, Samuel. That I was very interested to hear that from Selena. I thought, man, the guy's cool. Just keep it moving, right? But Selena, you gave a very different take on that. All right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, is it maybe it's a guy thing? What are your thoughts on that clip we just saw?
In my opinion, he's not ready for a serious relationship. For me, I think he was in that relationship as a fling and as a temporary thing.
Okay.
Because if he had taken it serious, there would have been an invested interest.
Okay.
Which means he would see something valuable in her to hold her.
Okay.
But the father is willing to let go that easily. It means he wasn't there in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
a very interesting
Yeah.
take. Maybe I've been out of the game for way too long, and
He's still in his playing days. He's not
yeah.
ready.
I mean, but maybe.
Do you think there was some sort of arrogance there?
Yeah,
Like,
of
oh, well,
course.
fine,
Yeah,
bye.
he's just
you know?
selfish. He's just all
yeah,
about himself. and
I saw
there was
it
no
like that.
consideration for the woman.
Because the opposite to that would be the guy holding on. You know,
I
the
get
opposite
the
to that would
idea.
be.
I get the idea of self-love. But love is to give.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lovely.
The genuine love is to give.
Is to
So
give,
he
yeah.
was in the relationship, but no element of giving or considering
Or taking it very
more
seriously,
hair.
like an investment.
Exactly.
Wow.
I have a different take.
Okay. Let's say that. Yeah.
What about like there's been signs before, and then that moment of her saying that she don't want to do it anymore, it was a sign of okay, that's it, it's done.
Okay. All right. That's
You know
true.
what I mean? There were signs before, like he was trying to make it work, and then when she said that those words of terminating the relationship, that's it. It's done.
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't see what happened before, did
That's
we?
it. So it's interesting. So we saw the breakup, how the guy took it, how the lady was. He could be so confident in himself, like this is gonna make me fish, and he's a bit arrogant and probably still a child, immature. But then he could be like, "Yeah, God answer my prayer."
This was the sign I was waiting for.
Very, very interesting. What do you guys think, man? What do you guys think of that? What are your thoughts on that? By the way, good morning to Therese over there in Croydon. Good morning as well to Hope and Esther, Bassett Sana in Botswana, all the rest of the crew. We got Bradley Luqueto over there in Edmonton as well. Fantastic. Love it. Let's keep it moving. Jessica, I know you just flew in. I don't think you caught that last clip.
From what you guys described, is it the Seinfeld clip?
Whoa, you didn't see it?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God.
I was watching, obviously there's a 30-second delay, but I didn't quite get to this part. And actually once I get to that corridor, I usually just get into game mode, really. So I put it away. But from what you guys described, it definitely is the Seinfeld clip. It has to be, yeah.
All right, guys. So here we go. We're going to get ready. In a couple of minutes, we're going to go into our elements of last week's Love Talk. But before we do, I've got a morning coffee question for you guys. All right? A morning coffee question. We have a lady, because now everybody says everything on social media. And sometimes it can seem one-sided, right? Sometimes it's a trend and people are just reacting to certain behaviors, on social media, as you know happens. And we have a lady here that says a few things, and I want you to have a look at this, and I want you all to share your thoughts on what do you actually believe is happening here. This lady, she points out she had 3 divorces, right? But what do you actually think is happening in this clip for her to reach this kind of point? All right, stay tuned, keep it locked on. Kat, play that track.
And divorce 3 times. And if I could say one thing about my experience, and I mean, you can take it or leave it, it's going to be this. Make sure that whoever you are dealing with, okay, whether it's, somebody you're dating, long-term, short-term, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or whatever, make sure that wherever they are at that moment, and by that moment, I mean, if they don't lose any weight, if they don't get a better job, if they don't fix, the childhood trauma, if they got a cat and you don't like cats, wherever they are at that moment, if you cannot deal with that, if you're thinking about, if they change this and they change that, and, over time, then we'll grow to be, if they don't change a thing, is that somebody that you want to commit yourself to?
All right, so she's basically saying that whatever you see in the person right now, and you don't want to live with it, and they don't want to change because you've spoken to them, think about it. Think very, very hard. All right. Now, it took her 3 broken relationships to come to this wisdom. 3. I have my thoughts. There's no particular right or wrong answer. But starting with you, Samuel, what do you think is happening there? What would you point to? And, what are your thoughts on that clip? And I want to hear from you guys. Please type in the live chat or send a voice note.
There's a lot to take in from what she said. There's a lot to take in from who she is. What I see in her is a determined spirit to find love.
Okay.
She really wants to find.
Okay.
But she's going about it all the wrong way.
Okay. Why'd you say that?
Well, she's had 3 failed marriages.
Okay.
So, and also what I see, there's a lot, but what also I see is that she hasn't yet understood how to resolve issues of the heart. So she's saying that if that person that you're with, the moment that you're in, whether it's a trauma or they can't get a better job, all these things, think about it. Well, if you really know what love is and you really want to make the marriage work, those moments, you know what to do. You resolve it so that you can get to the end goal, which is to die happily together.
Yeah, okay.
So she hasn't yet learned how to resolve marital issues And as such, whenever she encountered those issues, she jumped ship.
Okay. That's interesting.
So
Yeah,
she's
that's
determined,
very
she's willing, but she's uneducated how to deal with issues. She's immature, she's still emotional. And you can even see in her countenance how she is. She's still emotional. She's still reeling from the failures and hurt of the past. So she hasn't even overcome that.
So she hasn't healed it, yeah.
She even herself. So first thing, she doesn't know how to deal with herself, issues within her own heart. And as such, how then can you help your husband deal with these issues?
So her issue probably is that she's always projecting externally, right?
Exactly.
It's always externally. She's not looking at herself.
She wants the guy to fix himself, get ready, bring your A game, but me, I'll be who I am. Love me for who I am.
Interesting. We've got a comment here. Good morning to you, Priscilla, and good morning to you, Refilway, over there in Botswana. We have Jeanette. Jeanette says, interesting. If it were to happen, I wonder if she thought she made a mistake, and why did he take it so well? Oh, that was for the short clip. Would she want to take him back? But remember why you did it in the first place. Okay. So, Selena, that clip, I want to hear your thoughts on that, and then we'll go to the one and only I Am Will.
There is definitely a lot, as Mr. Samuel was saying, there's a lot to take in there. There was definitely, from just the sound of her voice, some unresolved issues inside. However, what are her expectations? What are her intentions for a relationship? Like Mr. Samuel said, if she encounters a challenge and she just jumps ship, she's not someone that can face challenges and be able to deal with them and go through the process, because that's, in relationships, you're going to encounter those things. You're going to encounter, maybe someone will put on some weight in the future. How are you going to deal and help them to overcome and get healthy again? Things like that. But
so you think it might be a case of, even though she's had a lot of time being in relationships, there's still that lack of maturity concerning relationships. So she put it on, you know, if they already overweight, that's how they're going to be. He said, I'm not even going to help you. I'm not even going to
she should
support
be
you.
able to add some value to say, okay, how can we lose that weight? You know, and so that you're thinking of the person's health in the things like that. You know, I think her having 3 failed relationships by now should have given her a wake-up call to think, okay, there must be something I'm doing wrong. My selection process must be wrong here. Somewhere. There must be something wrong that I'm doing, or I'm thinking, or I'm expecting. So, you know.
Wow, we got a comment agreeing with you. We have anonymous ending 808 saying that lady needs to work on herself mentally and do background checks before getting involved.
Spot on.
So maybe, so maybe it's an emotional involvement to start off with. Okay, I Am Will. What are your thoughts on that clip?
I was intrigued that everyone seemed to pick up on the part about the tone of voice, that there did seem to be an unresolved emotion there behind the advice that was being given. And I thought it was interesting because she spoke eloquently, but you could still catch up on that. So it wasn't something that was easy to hide in that respect. I do feel that what she spoke about in terms of literal advice is not the worst advice in the world, but I do feel like the place it was coming from makes it sort of like
a bit toxic.
Exactly, like sort of like lessens its value, because it is true that you should think long and hard about how someone is when you're dating them, and if you have suggested those things, because I think she did mention that if that person shows an unwillingness to change certain things, but I do think that most people are not going to be 100% willing to change every single flaw about themselves. I think it's always going to be an up and down battle with that. And I do like what Celine said, that you know, that someone is unhealthy now, like how can we help them get back to health? Because I think people's ideas of improvement is that it's always just going to be linear. It's always just going to go upwards, but sometimes you'll go up and you'll go down, and sometimes you'll have a bit of a roller coaster course in that sense. So I feel like being with someone who is willing to anticipate and adapt and try and add that value and help you get back to where you are, as you should do with them if that's your life partner. I feel like that's important.
That's very interesting.
I'm not going to go as far as to say that she failed to show that in any of her marriages, because I just feel like that's way too much context that I wasn't given. But from what I'd seen there, it seems like she reached a point where she's like, I've given up trying to improve a potential partner. Like, I need you to be showing me all the signs that you're willing to be the full package, even if you're not quite there yet. And I think it's a bit harsh because I wouldn't think it's fair of someone to expect that of her.
And there's two sides to every story, isn't it? It'll be interesting to know what her former husband say about her.
That's a good one. We got a comment here from Lorraine. Lorraine says, "Morning, Assistant Robert and Breakfast Crew Show, Mighty Bull Ring, PCG Connected, one dream, one team." That's how we roll. Lorraine says, "Great to see you, Assistant Samuel and Selena." Anonymous 808 says, "The first clip, the man wanted a stressless life. Some women like to be chased and need too much emotion over simple issues." Rafidaway in Botswana says, "I get the point. She makes even though she made made her errors. If someone is chubby and preferably she would want a skinny person. She says she can't say, oh well, I'll make him join the gym." Okay, because I was thinking about the clip as well, and I thought one thing that came to my mind is that we look for what we are familiar with or what we are. Right, we kind of get, like, for example, the dating process. We hear, and I'm confounded how usually you find that two couples, they're usually very opposite in personality types. I don't know. It's God's humor. I don't understand that. But I believe because there's even a passage in the Bible in what we glory in, what you glory in, and if the person glories and sees strength in being a gangster, they're gonna look for a gangster. If the person glories in the man being a chief, the unrelenting, immovable chief, African chief, she go and look for in the African chief to prostrate herself, unless they've had a situation where they've been turned off from it and they won't look for that. If the person is, inside and they glorify being a yardie, they see that as being strong. The yardie, unconditional, doesn't listen, you just cuss you down, they will look for the yardie because they see glory in that. So maybe it's a question of what does she see glory in, what does she see strength in? Because if it's Jesus, Jesus isn't like that. Jesus doesn't show strength like that, And so, for example, a certain type of lady who wants these type of things, if she comes to someone who's of God, and Jesus is strong, he's firm, but at the same time he's gentle, she will hate that part, bypass that, and look for the guy who's gangster or road. So
and that's another thing that came to my mind, in a sense that she doesn't really have a true vision of her spiritual
condition
or marital
state.
life, or even the true vision of the right man for her. So she's still clogged up in the emotional state of her feelings and her will. She hasn't broken past herself to see who truly she should aim for. So there's no vision.
One thing I want to continue from that is, who is she looking at for reference? Who is she looking at? Because I remember back in school, my only references were from my other friends who were the same. They were all making mistakes. We were all trying to follow each other. We had no reference of a man, a man that we should look for. So we were all just following each other. So we had no good references.
And the danger of, Christians getting it right in their marriage or love life is for us not to follow the status quo of the world, of the commercial. Because if you're not looking to how God does it, naturally you stray towards seeing what the world does, how the world does it. Kardashians, your pop stars and all these people. You idolize that, and as you said, what you see is what you're gonna aim for. And what they do is just a commercial. They're just commercial enterprises.
That's tough.
So they do things just on the surface, but there's no root. So if you follow them, you're gonna fail.
Haven't you seen why people break down when they see a celebrity relationship fail? They're like, oh, it's like a big thing, and then they suddenly break down because that was their reference of a marriage when it's not supposed to be. So people,
it's deep, isn't it?
Idolizing.
And some references are bad families. Some references are bad, parents' marriages. So that's what they saw growing up. So they'll follow suit. They'll find someone who's abusive because that's what they experience.
And they will never say abusive, but they see that as being strong. That person's strong. Like, that's how it translates in their head.
They put up with all the years of.
But someone stepping out from that would be like, No, this person's draining you down. Like, they're just cussing you. Like,
It's not
that's
strength.
not normal.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We got here a comment here from Anonymous ending. It says, men really know who they are looking for, qualities in a woman, I think. Okay, Micah says, men want peace, not problems.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
Because that lady's going to be looking for happiness.
Drop the
she'll
mic,
probably see
Micah.
she'll probably see Ailton and be like, oh, what a handsome man. You know, and she looks nice. She looks the part. She will present herself nice. But when you open that can of worms, oh, fuck that. I could see Ailton. You see me more like a tech guy than an athlete. I think you become an athlete in that very moment. We got Micah says, I'm keen to hear your thoughts on why a man being the chief is a put off for most women today. Is the man not the head?
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
That's interesting.
good question.
But I think when we say chief, what I'm saying is, I'm coming from an African household, right? So, for example, there's some cultures where if you come, you need to prostrate. If anything, if the child drops a cup and it smashes, they will go hard on you. If anything happens, they will just go hardy. It's like no emotion. Yes or no?
Yeah.
No emotion. No emotion. It's like, do you know what I mean? To say I love you. Like, you got a child, and to say I love you to your child, like, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
And that's related to culture. It's related to culture. And they glory in that. So if you glory in that, and then you come to London and you're mixing with different people, and that is your role model, and then you marry someone that you see KG, and that's happening, right? And I think even I was influenced by that just a little bit. You know, even though I grew up in the UK. What about you, Samuel?
Yes, pretty much. And the way I behaved before I came to know God was unfortunately what I saw around me.
Yeah.
Older brothers not getting it right.
Yeah.
My dad, unfortunately, not getting it right. So I would do what he did.
Yeah. That's it. So imagine we glory in that. That's our idea of strong. But when you come to Jesus, Jesus is our idea of strong.
He breaks that mindset of what you grew up believing was true.
Or was strong.
Or was strong.
Right? So a gangster would believe that's being strong. I've got a suit on, but inside of me, I'm hood.
Yeah.
That's strong. So if you're a woman who thinks that's strong and someone's coming and showing you Jesus, that's weak. But that's what you need.
Isn't that what Bishop has been saying recently this week? Like the reference about Samuel versus Abraham, the relationship. Like Samuel had lots of wives.
Okay,
Solomon.
Solomon, and Abraham was faithful to one woman. Although he had the option to go for a concubine, but he's chosen not to be faithful to one woman.
That live, did you see the live on Tuesday that Mrs.
No,
Helen, it caught me off guard because I wasn't I was just planning to shut down for the evening. Then I saw them come on live, and I just thought, let me just watch it was very strong.
Yeah. That's the one for the men, right?
Power of decision.
I'm sure there was a lot of women watching it.
Beautiful.
Very good.
So what do you glory in? I think that's a huge thing there. We have to investigate and see how we're functioning inside here. We got here, Micah says, very true, Robert. Anonymous says, too much baggage from past relationships can cloud a person's vision. True. Worldly reference bring wrong choices and make sense. All right, guys. So look, it's very interesting. This is why the Love Talk is so important. Tonight, 8 p.m., we're going to be having here in our Rainbow Theatre, and whatever country you're on, it's going to be taking place. So definitely, as you can see, it's very interesting. People can say a lot, like we're hearing, and people can come up with things that even sound nice, like Iron Will said. But you know what? I think the author of love is the best one that we can learn from. And if that's going to be the case, we're going to be going to some elements of last week's Love Talk in just a moment. And we're going to be learning about our love relationship temperature. What's your relationship temperature? How do you gauge it? Let's find out. We're going to a song right now. We're going to catch our breath. And then we'll be right back with the first part right after this. Ain't it right, Kat? Let's do this. Hey, just a quick interruption. I know you're enjoying the show, but don't forget, if you haven't already, robustly smash the like and subscribe button. Do it now! Do it now! All right, guys. So this is your breakfast show. We just had Look at Me just playing during the timeout. Good selection over there from one only Kathleen, our lady of sound. All right. So we have in our live chat here, we have some interesting comments here. Good morning from Kigali over there in Namibia. Prince from Manchester is joining us. Breakfast Show faithful. Listening Breakfast Show family from Chanel over in South Africa. Chanel, you're awesome. Kikiza. Also, we have anonymous. Selena said, I'm being challenged. Says, Robert, are you saying African families are dominant above emotion? What I'm saying is there are particular traits you see in culture. There are particular traits you see in culture which represent being strong. And usually it's usually tied with being inflexible. My decision is my decision. Even about health. If I die, I die. I just want my food. But life also ends up humbling us when we go in that way. And without God kind of bringing us down, bringing us back to common sense, you know, to kind of like, okay, this is culture, but this part I don't need. It's making me too arrogant, too proud. Let me become a bit more flexible so I can learn and grow. That's it. So there's things that are tied into culture. During the timeout, Selena was speaking about how in a Caribbean household, you know, the people, they wear grudge like it's a trophy around the neck.
Carry baggage of grudges constantly. They just don't want to let it go.
You know, and so coming from that, it's
another good example is that in some West African countries, the man is seen to be strong to the wife when he beats her up black and blue in order to arouse their moment, the sexual moment.
Wow.
So can you imagine? So that's a good example. That in that tribe, in that culture, that is deemed to be the man being strong and trying to win me over. But then that's borderline abuse.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where God comes in and changes the status quo.
That's right.
And shows you what true strength is, which is gentleness.
Yeah.
You know, loving, caring, leading, providing, protecting.
Yeah, I think good example of that. Actually, I wanted to find a reason just to share this. When Jesus was going hard against the scribes and Pharisees, and you know, you give the tithe of this, that, and the other, but you neglect the main thing, which is faith, mercy, and love.
Yeah.
Faith, mercy, and love. Or was it justice? Yeah, but this is it. So you got justice, mercy, and love.
Yeah.
That's it. Mercy.
That's
love.
true strength.
That's true strength.
It takes strength to do that.
To execute.
It's easier to manifest emotions and seem to be strong. But you're strong and you're of strength when you do, you deny yourself, your will, and do what is right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true strength.
Beautiful. All right, guys. So there we go. So with some dialogue there, we have Mary. Oh, your queen to bees. Your queen is in the house.
Where is she?
Queen Mary. She's there. Mary Dankwa. Lovely. She's right there. She's near the bottom. Yeah.
Okay.
We've also got anonymous 809 saying relationship luggage. I think the man being the natural leader needs to set the temperature so he can govern good, expecting in his woman. As females, we tend to work and task out what we are. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So look, guys, let's keep it moving. Let's go into the first element of last week's love talk. Very, very, very important stuff. Getting notepad ready and relationship temperature. How can we gauge? Let's have a look at this. Take it away, Kat.
So we had 10 couples who got married in one night. And we mentioned briefly last week in the service that the relationship between men and his wife, the husband and the wife, is like the relationship between God and his people. And in fact, this is so deep that everything that happens in a relationship is exactly a mirror of what happens in the relationship with God. For example, what do many people do in the church? Many people run to the church when they are in trouble. But when they are answered, when the solution comes, many, in fact, the majority, they leave the presence of God. Isn't that true? And the same thing happens in relationships. How many men, when they are going through a hardship, a difficult time, they lean on the wife. And then, when that hardship is gone, they leave the wife, swap the wife for a younger one. How many times you see that God prepared the Garden of Eden as the place for us to live, God did not want to give us hardships. God wanted to give us the best. Think about it. God did not make a place for us to live that we had to toil the ground. It was all enjoyment. Amen. But men destroyed the perfection that God created. Adam and Eve, they only saw the damage that they caused when they were expelled, kicked out from the Garden of Eden. And many men, women, they have a blessed marriage, but they don't know that they have a blessed marriage. And then they do something, say something that destroys the marriage, and then they say, why did I do that? So you see that not only can we say that exactly what happens between husband and wife happens between God and his people, not from God's side, but from the people towards God. But also another point that is very important, and this is what we're going to focus on, is that, do you know what is the thermometer of your relationship with God? The thermometer of your relationship with God is your marriage. Let that sink in for a moment. Because if my relationship with God is good, how will my marriage be? Good. So sometimes people come to love therapy, and it sounds counterproductive to come to a meeting where we're supposed to talk only about relationships, and sometimes, not always, eventually we end up talking about this, but we talk about the relationship with God. When is a marriage cold? 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 When the relationship with God is cold. Your relationship with God is cold, your marriage is going to be cold. God suffers with the same problems that people suffer in marriage.
All right, so God suffers with the same problem situations that people suffer in marriage, and how we are with God is reflected into our relationship, how we are with God. One more time, the onus has been put back on ourselves, and not just like how the lady did on the other person. It's very interesting. Samuel, I just want to get your thoughts on what Bishop spoke about.
Yes. In my experience, as well as what Bishop has said and what the Bible teaches us, it is true and is correct. You know, the temperature or the thermometer of our marriage is high when we are well with God. You know, as he said, God always takes the first initiative by living out this nature of his that is giving. So before Adam and Eve came into existence, he gave everything. He made sure that they were in a place where everything was perfect. He gave that. He gave them the condition for them to have a perfect life.
Yeah.
And when they came and whilst they were enjoying it, they were given. Why? Because they were obeying God. So they were also denying their will to do what pleased God.
Okay, that makes
By
sense.
the moment they start denying God and start giving into themselves and the devil, that's when they lost everything. So everything
went chaotic.
Went south.
Yeah.
And so I've also learned that when I am doing well with God, when I'm obeying, I'm humbling, I'm submitting, I'm sacrificing my will to God, then what it does, it gives me more conditions spiritually through the Holy Spirit to be able to give to my wife.
And that's a tough thing, because this is an oxymoron in the secular world. Because imagine if the culture is, what can this relationship bring to me, and God is switching it upside down, then really the dating stage and who you choose is very, very important. Because if you choose someone that doesn't have a godly mindset, it will be one-sided, right? And they may even take offense to the way that you're doing things, right?
Yeah, of course. because you're not of the same mindset. You're not of the same principles. You know, you're heading this way, or within you, you're going this way, and that person is going that way. But of course, you can't see what is within the person.
Yeah.
So you come together just by emotional whims, and then you find out that this person is not, you know, compatible.
We got a comment here. Did anyone say it?
I did.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that last point is actually why I believe your first date with someone shouldn't be it shouldn't be a extravagant event, because I think it can distract from trying to decipher exactly what was just spoken about now, like what is that person's principles, and if this is someone who you should even start a relationship with. I think a lot of people, as much as I do have to say, people can hide some parts of themselves, so you're not always going to figure that out in a first date. But I do like to think that regardless of instead of trying to figure out everything about a person, just try to figure out these key principles, which you can figure out in a more of a relaxed setting. Doesn't necessarily have to be a coffee date, but I know that is something that's referenced as an example on the show. And I do think that's where some people get it wrong right from the get-go, is that they were trying to do the nicest, most expensive place to go and eat out, and, you know, look nice and this and that, and you know, it kind of just distracted from the, I should actually figure out if this person's values align with my own.
Yeah.
And sometimes, it's literally that simple.
Powerful.
Yeah, very powerful.
And the thing is, people can make themselves look nice these days, Selena?
Yes.
Right?
People can filter themselves, right, on
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah.
I'm going to confess, I did experiment the other day with AI.
Okay.
But even when you're with a person, the person can mask themselves to give a good impression, but really deep down inside, they're not who they're showing that they are.
Yeah, and I think that's where it comes back to God.
Yeah.
Right, that's where God comes into it, because He gives us a gift of discernment. Right, He's able to discern hearts, souls, spirit, etc. So we can't sidestep God when it comes to relationship.
No way.
You know,
No way.
Leah, okay, let's go to the second part, because this is heating up nice. Let's go.
Sometimes people say, Bishop, my husband gives me the silent treatment. Don't people give God the silent treatment sometimes? Many people start their day, they don't pray. They don't have time to pray. No, I don't have time to pray. I don't have time to read God's word. Like many people, they work so hard to conquer someone. The person was obsessed with someone. I want to marry that person. After they marry the person, now they don't have time. I need to work. I need to do this. I need to do that. So just like there is no conversation with God, there is no conversation. Everything that you can think of between God and His people, or rather we should say between His people and God, is the same thing that happens between husband and wife. The people of Israel, if you read the book of Malachi, if you've read the book of Malachi, how does God sound in the book of Malachi? Happy or angry? Angry. And why? Because he was cheated on by his people, betrayed by his people. And that's what happens in relationships. So many don't understand that to fix a relationship in a marriage, you need to first fix your relationship with who? With God.
It's good evening. It's that simple. You know, sometimes people come to us for advice and they really expect to hear something they've never heard before, something that they've never thought of before, when in fact all you need is that. Actually, God created marriage so that we could be constantly reminded. For example, we hear many wives coming for advice. My husband doesn't give me attention. My husband doesn't do this for me. It doesn't make me feel special. It doesn't make me feel exclusive. And I said, I haven't seen you do that with God. Sometimes I know the person. I've noticed you've grown cold. You're not the same. You left your first love with God. So what you want from your husband, God wants from you. So start giving to God what He wants from you, and you will be so fulfilled in every area of your life. This is why the Bible says, seek Him first and everything else will be given. It's literally like that. So marriage is God's creation for us to be reminded to forgive. You know, just like God forgives us And he knows all our secrets, all our thoughts. Our spouse doesn't know. But yet, God forgives us all the time.
You want to see?
But we don't want to forgive our spouse. We don't want to be patient.
You want to see a perfect example of this? Let's look at the pastors. The pastors. You know, our life every day is in the church. Whatever day, we're in the church. Every day. Tuesday, Monday, Saturday, you name it, we're there. And we don't have time to, you know, be going out and going around, seeing sights. But we have time to be together. But we're together doing what? Evangelizing, helping the people. We're together. And I've never heard a pastor or a wife say, oh, we are drifting apart because we don't have time to spend together. I've never heard that. But I've seen cases, more than a few, of couples who said, look, we are always in the church. We need to start taking time for ourselves. And they start finding more time for themselves, drifting away from the altar. What happens immediately in the marriage? Problems. Gets cold because the relationship with the altar became cold.
So it's not. So we can go to a guru. We can go to and hear all these different lovely talking points on social media, and people say all kinds of stuff, and it sounds good. It sounds fluffy, but like Samuel touched on earlier today, the problem is the human heart, right? How human beings are, and it was quite interesting. What Bishop was saying, that maybe, from what I understand, the way our spouse is reacting is actually God. So, for example, we could be behaving in such a way, and, you know, because we behave in a certain way, it's as if God is kind of like reflected through our spouse, their disapproval in maybe the way that we're behaving. Maybe it's God. This has actually been my fear, that sometimes the person reacting is actually God reacting through them.
This is deep.
You know what I mean?
Because
we see in Malachi, God gave the silent treatment. Yeah. God was raw, and sometimes people think God is love, but there's that side when they were being dishonoring to Him, they were not honoring Him, and God and after then you had the page after Malachi, which is blank, silence until John the Baptist came on the scene, right? So maybe, just maybe, our spouse is mirroring God towards us because of what we've been doing and how we're behaving.
Wow.
Right?
That's deep. I'm even it's hitting me as well.
Yeah.
Because how do we feel?
Sorry.
How do we feel when
Go ahead.
In any given relationship, when we're giving, and then we don't get anything back? At some point we draw the line. We get annoyed, angry, we want to, be away from the person. And it's true, that's how God feels. So in the same way, I like what you said, God is actually using the way our spouse behaves to say to you, you're not giving to me as you ought to give. That's why I'm making it behave that way. That's why I'm making it behave that way. Yeah. So when you start giving into me, then I'll change her.
Yeah.
That's really powerful.
Yeah, and I think the point, the onus being that how our relationship with God is how we will be in our relationship. If we're not well with God, we may not even notice that.
Yeah.
If we're not well with God, we might not even see it that way. We'll just be like, the person's that, and continue and make the situation worse. Yeah. Right, Celine?
That's right. And I think as a single person, I don't have a spouse to be able to give me feedback on my behavior. So I have to kind of look at how am I with my family and friends, and I have to be sensitive to that. I can't just think just because I'm a woman of God, I'm right and the way I am is right and everything. But there might be something that I'm doing that they're trying to show me isn't right. Through their silence, through a reaction of some sort. It could be that they're trying to say, Selena, this is not right. This is not making me feel good. So I have to be sensitive to that as well.
So, and here's the interesting thing, because we could be in faith. I'm so in faith.
Right.
I'm in faith. I'm the righteous wanderer. You know what I mean? And they were wrong, these unbelievers, right?
Yes,
it could be. But even saying that, I look for feedback.
Yeah.
Because the person who has a good relationship with God, guess what? We pray.
Yes.
But we don't just make requests. We're looking for God's feedback to examine our hearts. That's what we do in secret. And that's what it sounds like you would apply when dealing with relationship.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, with family, you know, I don't have someone right now. So with family is my closest reference to how am I? Apart from my relationship with God, he does react through my family and my friends.
Oh, my goodness. It's very deep, eh, Will?
Yeah, it's uncomfortable to think about because I suppose it's easy to look at like the people around you, but then to think of like, oh, am I someone who's used as a vessel by God as well to do those same things as well? And I do think to myself, it's so hard to internalize that. It's so hard to think of a way that I've behaved or reacted that wasn't entirely of my own fault.
Yeah.
But then I suppose that's probably the way it's designed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very true. Very true.
So
wow,
it's really tough to sort of wrap my head around that, to be honest.
But guys, if you want to get into a relationship, consider this. There's a fluffy side of, oh, I have someone, you know, ride or die in Jesus. And, you know, and that fluffiness of holding hands and all the rest of it. But if we're doing it with God, it seems like there's this side of it as well. And yeah, God may be showing us that he's not happy with the way we are. And our partner's manifesting that. The person we're dating is manifesting that. And maybe we got our ears closed and we're not listening. This is strong. Let's go to the third part. Yeah, let's go. And hopefully we'll have Simon here for a little bit longer as we get through this.
Look what the Bible says in Psalm 78, verse 37. For their heart, the heart of the people of Israel, was not steadfast with him, nor were they faithful in his covenant, so that he forsook the tabernacle of Shiloh, the tent he had placed among men. You see that because men, the people of Israel, were not faithful to God, their hearts were not true to God, the Bible says that God left the tabernacle, the place where the presence of God was manifested. He left. He left because there was no sincerity. In the same way, sometimes God is not present in the marriage because the relationship of those people with God is interrupted. I believe Peter says that when the man does not honor his wife, even his prayers are interrupted. This is why when a pastor has problems in his marriage, he cannot serve. Because how can he serve knowing that his prayers are interrupted? And then the next verse says, the fire consumed their young men, and their maidens were not given in marriage. Many are not given in marriage. Many do not progress because they neglect their relationship with God. And then the next verse says, their priests fell by the sword, and their widows made no lamentation. In other words, the husbands died and the wives did not cry. For a husband to die and a wife not cry, the marriage had to be very bad. And that's why today, who has heard about, this is a new concept for me. I never heard this before. I learned about this recently. Who's heard about divorce parties? Have you heard about divorce parties? I never knew about this. Now people have parties to celebrate that they are divorced. That's the world we're living in. Before people would get divorced, they would mourn, they would feel pain because you lost someone who was part of you. Now people are celebrating. Do you know what this means? That shows you how the world has drifted away from God. The world is cold. And this shows us that everything in a relationship has to revolve around God being in the center. This is why I'm going to let Elena speak now, but this is why this verse here is important. So that he forsook the tabernacle of Shiloh, the tent he had placed among men. God left the tabernacle. But in Haggai he says, the glory of this latter temple shall be greater than the former, than the first, says the Lord of hosts. And in this place I will give peace. Your love life, marriage, engagement, dating, singleness, whatever it is, can be in shambles, in tatters. But if you decide, if you say, let's put God in the center of our marriage from now on, let's stop following the teachings of influencer A or B or C, let's put God in the center. Let's do what he says. Let's treat God as king. If you treat God as king, what do you think will happen in your marriage, in your relationship? You will learn to treat that person the way that they deserve, and your marriage, your relationship will be a blessing.
So if we're treating our partner badly, one of two things are happening. One thing is that we're not right with God, and so we're not treating them as they should. Or on the other hand, it could be we're obviously doing what we're not supposed to be doing, and God is reflected through our partner's response to us, or lack thereof response, because we're not right. But all in all, in both scenarios, it all comes down to how we are with God. We got different points here. Prayer's been interrupted. Priests dying. Priests. It's funny how it said priests, and the wives did not mourn for them. Priests are meant to be spiritual people. They look really good, but like they were celebrating. They're like, good riddance, right? Wow. But then at the same time, we're seeing that even though the things were a mess, things can turn around again the moment we start to listen. If God is at the center, God can make it turn around, right, Samuel?
This is very deep, you know. It's as though we have to make a decision. Either we follow God with a godly attitude, godly principles, or a demonic attitude and demonic principles.
That is what it comes down to.
Because what I see here, you know, in the negative way, is the way Satan, Lucifer behaved in heaven. Very self-conscious, you know, selfish, greedy, you know, self-willed.
That's true.
And alone.
And before when he was Lucifer, he wanted to serve. Yeah. That was his function. That was his mindset.
Giving joyfully.
But then when he changed, that switch very strong. Yeah. Guys, it's interesting that we spoke about how Bishop spoke about, and he touched on it last week, how a man can get his prayers hindered if he doesn't treat his wife properly. We had a comment that we brought over to Bishop, where it was asked, what if the man is doing right and he's with someone who's not reciprocating? Maybe their relationship with God is off. Would the guy's prayers still be hindered? And so this was Bishop's response. Let's have a listen to this. Here we go.
One of the things we've learned in love therapy is our marriage is a direct mirror of our relationship with God. Okay. When our relationship with God is well, when we are close to Him, we listen to Him, we seek Him, we have intimacy with Him, then all those things are mirrored in our marriage. So if there is a problem in a marriage, it's because there is also a problem in the relationship with God, and it's easy to discard.
By the way, Bishop responded to this before this program was aired, which is quite interesting. All right.
A relationship because apparently one person is behaving in a certain way. The solution is not to discard. The solution is to invest in the relationship with God. He will give you guidance for you to know how to deal with this situation and to save your marriage. May God bless you.
Okay. All right. So the power is in our hands once again. Yes. I think that's what we're getting a lot of today. Ailton, you know, I mean, there's a lot going on today, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just taking it all in.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of pearls right today.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of heart surgery happening. Yes. Is anything that Bishop said that you wanted to guys touch on very quickly?
The key word was intimacy. That's what caught my attention. That's where it all begins.
Yeah.
That uninterrupted time with God that's exclusively for Him, where you surrender yourself and you listen to Him and listen to His direction. And that's where it all starts.
That's
you know?
true, because that will mirror into the
Everything
relationship.
else.
That intimacy, listening,
Yeah.
being flexible, will marry the person will do that to their partner.
Yeah, a lot of people are trying to, I mean, even though you see it in the world, right? Everyone's trying to figure out, what's my life purpose? What's this? They're trying to figure this out. They're trying to go to a coach. They're trying to go to this. They're trying to figure it out. But it's the intimacy with God that He tells you what to do and how to be.
Yeah. We good?
Yeah, we good, yeah. We got another part?
Yeah. It's deep today, guys. For those of you who are still with us, it's a pleasure having you with us on the show. It's Relationship Power Thursday. We're looking at elements from last week's Love Talk, and it's going deep. How do we gauge our relationship thermometer? And we're hearing that it's all to do with how our relationship with God. So if we're seeing a lot of pain in our relationship, we question, how am I like with God? Or is something happening with my partner between them and God? Or is it both of us? For sure, if both are well with God, then there should be harmony. So the leak is coming from somewhere. That's what we're learning today, and let's get this next one. Okay, Kat, go for it.
If I want to be happy in my marriage, I need to remember, what do I do in order to be happy with God? Okay, so I need to have communion with Him. I need to talk to Him. I need to spend time with Him. I need to serve Him. I don't get anything in exchange, do I? Actually, I do. I get a lot of happiness, a lot of fulfillment, but not in material things per se, but I am well within. My soul is happy. People may look at you and think, oh, but all you do is serve your husband. What do you get in exchange? You don't even think about that, but you feel fulfilled. Because you are doing to your husband what you do to God. You see how this works? It's that simple. So if you find it hard to cook your husband a meal, you think it's toxic masculinity or whatever it is that they say out there. Or if you find it hard to do his laundry, I like my husband to smell nice, smell of comfort or whatever.
If you don't have a shower, you put fabric softener on.
So you look at your husband, he's a product of your sacrifice. And there is happiness. No one is taking advantage of you, woman. He is an image of yourself. Oh, but he doesn't like, he's not converted. But you do your best. You don't get tired of doing good.
First, to finish here, what is marriage? Marriage is the opportunity to do for someone you can see what you already do for someone you cannot see.
Yeah.
Amen? Who is the one we cannot see? God. Marriage is merely God giving you an opportunity to do for someone you can see what you already do for someone you cannot see. If you look at your relationship with God and you see your relationship with God is not doing well, you immediately know what to look out for. I haven't been praying the way that I should. I haven't been giving time to my communion with God. You should be able to look at your relationship and see the same. Why is my marriage cold? Because maybe you have time to work, to do A, to do B, to do C, but you don't have time for that person. To the detriment of the of your marriage. To the detriment of your marriage, that is destroying your marriage. Remember that our relationship with God is a mirror image of our marriage. Every time you have a problem in your relationship, look at your relationship with God. Have you ever had a situation where you were going through a problem? I've mentioned this here before. And in the middle of that problem, you said, my God, what do I do? And then immediately a verse you had read before came to your mind. And that was like strength to you. Who here has had an experience like that? Have you? That happens all the time to me. So when your relationship with God is well, and you're having problems in your marriage, you say, my God, why is this happening in my marriage, my God? Why? What? Show me. Why is my relationship? And then God reminds you of something from His Word, because your marriage is a copy of your relationship with God. God reminds you. Every Wednesday you come to church to say, you love me. Every Sunday you say, Lord, I love you. When was the last time you said to your spouse, I love you? God reminds you. You love to sing that song, oh Lord, you're beautiful. When was the last time you told your spouse that she looked beautiful, he looked handsome? Because everything is what? Is a mirror image. Every Saturday morning, you take time to go out to evangelize. When was the last time you took time to spend time with that person doing something that was a blessing for both of you?
Oh, Merry Christmas. Guys, it's going in today. As married men, we're feeling the weight as well. As singles, I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm signing up to, but there's blessing in it. There's blessing in it, and it's really stripping them things away to the core. And please don't forget your talking points. I want to show, but the reason why I'm going to show you a clip right now, a TikTok shock. Why? Because sometimes we can get things really mixed up. We can think our spirituality is in how we present ourselves to other people, how we present ourselves in the place of worship, how we, we do all these amazing things, right? But God isn't happy. God doesn't accept those offerings because, like Bishop says, the relationship is our opportunity to do to the one that we can see what we do to the one that we can't see. So that means if we're not getting that right, that means even the one who we can't see isn't receiving what we're doing. This is what I'm getting today, and it's very strong. And check this clip out. Have a look at this. This is a lady at church serving her pastor.
Oh, thank you for the water.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, sir.
No,
sir, I can clean it, sir.
No, don't do that, Sister Mary. Okay, please, there's something I need you to help me get in the fridge. There are some fruits there. Just help me get them. Thank you. Don't worry about this.
I'm so sorry, sir.
Oh, beautiful.
Man of God.
Thank you.
Thank you,
so
sir.
much. Thank you so much.
Few moments later.
Honey,
What is it?
please, can you help me get water from the fridge, please?
What's wrong with your leg? Are you paralyzed?
I said just help me get water because it's close to you now, please.
I beg, I'm not your maid. If you want to come and get water, stop stressing me.
Oh wow, which kind of wife is this one?
Yeah, it's funny, right? But just echoing from what Bishop was sharing with us, is true. This lady in that example, right, is not in a good situation with God, right? Physically it looks okay, right, we're winning. But before God, that's not the case, right? Even like the way you're looking down, Selena, like, my goodness.
You know, when you think to yourself that the word of God puts you in check,
Yeah.
it does. It challenges you, it shows you who you are, and you think to yourself, you think you're a certain way. But then when situations happen and God confronts you, you're like, oh, I wasn't what I thought, or I wasn't where I thought I was. And it takes that moment of humbleness to kind of recognize
And
that.
I think, Samuel, you discover that in marriage, right?
Yeah.
There'll be a conflict that will make you assess yourself.
Yeah. Right. And it's meant to be so that you can, fulfill your part, which is to give in. To give in. God is showing to you there's more of you that He wants you to surrender to Him, so that you can be able to have the condition to keep loving, the other person.
I love that.
And just to add to what Bishop said, in terms of, how can you give or how can you love, that bit that you said before. What I also get from that is that marriage is the opportunity for you to pay back the love that God gave to you when He sacrificed Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So He's given everything to us.
Yeah.
Now you pay back by giving your all to this person without expecting anything back.
I'm gonna have to go
because
home
when you
speak to my
receive the
wife.
all of God, you're fulfilled. That's the way He makes me see it.
Yeah.
Because not to
Yes.
brag, but when I understood the love of God,
Yeah.
I was able to leave my life behind in Birmingham, family, son, business, and by the word of God, move to Edmonton. All because of the power of love to start afresh again here with my wife. And since then, I've been also giving internally in terms of, the way she is and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And of course, she's also giving back. Why? Because I depend on receiving from God. God is the one who fulfills me, as Miss Helena said. Our fulfillment comes from God. Human beings, our soul is so complex and we are so needy of so many things. No human being can fulfill us. Only God can really fulfill us. So when we have this fulfillment, we have joy and pleasure to give to the other person. We are paying back what God gave to us in terms of Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Justice, faith, and mercy. Wow, paying God back.
Yeah.
These are beautiful things, eh, Will?
Honestly, I feel so humbled, like, and blessed, hearing these kind of things. Like when you just are like, oh, you need to go back and speak to your wife. I was like, in fact, I knew I was going to tell you, but I was like, that's the kind of reaction you are supposed to have when you hear something like that. Like, it should hit you so profoundly that, like, you would want to act on it immediately, kind of thing. And I think, that's what I kind of feel listening to this as well.
Yeah.
And the same as what's already been pointed out, there was something that was an amazing bar from the bishop where he spoke about how marriage is just merely an opportunity for you to do what you can for someone that you can see, for someone that you can't see. And it got me thinking is if you can literally, not only just for your partner, as much as it is a priority, but I think if you can literally do that for all people in your life, so like your extended family members, your associates, your friends, and if those people, and you're giving so much to all these people that they feel so compelled to do the same for you, I feel like your whole life is just blessed.
There you go.
You literally just have, like, the more people you can do that for, the less problems you have in your life. Because it's great to not have any problems in your marriage, but why not also not have any problems in your social relationships and your working relationships as well?
That's very strong. And I think the whole idea with marriage is that you can start with, if you're in a relationship, start with that one person. Right? And that will give you peace to extend it even further. This is great. Let's go to the final part and let's get ready to wrap this up. Come on.
A lot of people talk about, oh, I've been married for 10 years. My marriage is stale. It's stale. Why is a marriage stale? Because the relationship with God is stale. That's why. We have here assistants who've been assistants in the church for 20 years, 25 years. And they serve God with the same dedication they did 20 years, 25 years ago. I have served God for more than 25 years, but I have more pleasure to serve God now than I ever did. And my colleagues here the same. I'm not exclusive to this. My colleagues is the same thing. The same thing with a marriage. And why? Listen, why? Why is our pleasure in serving God more than before? Because every day we say, my God, what else can I do to win a soul for you? Pastors, isn't that how we spend our day? Yes or no? My Lord, what else? What else can I do? I'm here in the church. I had 2 people here in the service on Tuesday morning. My Lord, there are millions of people outside, tens of thousands in this neighborhood where my church is. What else can I do to bring one more soul for you? And then you are there scratching your head, walking in your church. What can I do? And God gives you an idea. That's what happens to us. Imagine how your marriage will be. My God, what else can I do to make my marriage honor you even more? How can I look after my wife? How can I look after my husband? How can I? And then God does what? He shows you. But Bishop, I have nobody to put this into practice with. I'm single. But you know now that when you start dating, when you start getting to know someone, the way that relationship will go forward, providing the other person is of God, is a reflection. Maybe you think your relationship with God is amazing, but then you are dating and you see everything going wrong. Either the person is not of God, or then something's not right with your relationship with God. So over the next 5 Thursdays, today being one of them, we are going to focus on preparing the glory of the upcoming temple, meaning our love life to God, so that it can be greater than the first. And what you are going to start doing today is, instead of demanding changes from someone, you're going to look at your relationship with God. If you're single, you can do that. This goes for singles, and this goes for those who are married. because your marriage will be a reflection of your relationship with God.
What can I do? What can I do to make my marriage better? What can I do to serve my spouse? What do they need? What do they need so that my situation, my marriage can glorify God? And when we're not anxious, we're not full of anxiety, no. We take that up to the author of love, and he replies back to us.
Yes, I have to say something before I forget. You know, when we're praying, you know, in the service or at home, and you that question comes as a single person, why am I not blessed yet? You have to look deeper and think, does God see me ready yet? Because many times my prayers are, oh my God, bless me now, bless my love life. But your love life starts with your relationship with God.
Yeah.
So is there something in my relationship with God that's not fixed yet, that's not completed yet,
Or
that
mature.
he doesn't see me ready
Yep.
or mature yet, because he doesn't see me ready to provide, to give that to my spouse. So that's kind of how I look at, in my prayer, my prayers changed to look at what's within me.
That's good. And because the thing is, sometimes we're single and we are looking at the clock.
Yeah.
But we're not looking. There's a lot of work to do with ourselves. There's a lot of work to do with him.
Yeah.
Because if God gives you that person straight away, you will destroy him with your own hands.
Exactly. It starts with that, because a lot of women, especially in the world of fixing, you know, they want the 6-figure salary. They want their bodies to look good. They want to look good to be, but that's all surface that's going to fade. But the inside doesn't fade. As long as your relationship with God is right, it doesn't fade.
Beautiful. All right, I'm going to show you a very short clip very quickly to kind of sum up what Bishop was saying. What can I do for my partner? Take a look at this.
Hey, you know that thing you've been talking about the last couple weeks? Got it.
That's funny, because I got you the thing that you've been talking about.
I love these guys. Everybody wins. Hey, Samuel.
That's how it should be. Like we just saw on the screen, that the glory of the latter temple is going to be greater than the former. You know, that shows that God really wants marriage to be such a blessing that both are fulfilled. And the key question that you asked back then is that how can we make sure that this is the case? Is, as Bishop said, is when our faith is not stale.
Yeah.
You know, when our faith is not stale, is active, is dynamic, is on fire with God, then we have the ability to also make things happen in the marriage as well. And a perfect example that came to my mind as we were listening to this is Abraham. You know, how is it possible? I always meditate on this. How is it possible that this man, nearly 100, was able to convince, romance, arouse the sexual desire of Sarah to have a child, to be pregnated? It's because Abraham was a friend of God. He had intimacy with God. And because his intimacy with God was so deep and personal and close, his faith was fresh.
And that translated into his relationship.
Into the way he related with Sarah. As such, even though Sarah was doubtful and she was old, she didn't see that. She saw herself as a teenager. So she was able to bring out all this energy within her, and they were able to conceive.
Drop it like it's hot.
So when our faith is not stale, when our relationship with God is not stale, it's real, it's practical, it's truthful, it's sincere, it's fresh, everything else works.
Beautiful. All right, guys. So Will, just to wrap up, any final thoughts?
I like the very, very last thing that Bishop said in the last piece. And again, you know, it's quite consistent throughout all the pieces, is that before trying to demand something of your partner, try to look at what you can do for God.
Yes.
And I think that was great, because I think some people, as devout as we can try to like think that we are, it can be so difficult to feel like you're experiencing a hardship at the expense of someone else, and think like, oh, I'm not going to address it with that person. But actually to just try an entirely different approach of not even, okay, what am I going to do for the person I'm dating? Just literally, what am I going to do for God? And then the rest will follow suit.
Love it.
I think is a really good way for us maybe to end the show, really, I think.
That's a beautiful way to end the show. And guys, it's been a pleasure having you with us today.
Thank you.
That was absolutely phenomenal. I really enjoyed this morning. We have all learned a lot. I think we've all had our hearts rendered and stripped bare to go back home.
That's definitely one way to put it.
That's one way to put it. And guys, I've enjoyed your company. So thank you so much, Selena Green. I am Will. You're awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Samuel. It's your first time on the show. It's been live, and it's been a pleasure having you with us. You're awesome. I hope you can come every 2 weeks. It'd be good to have you with us. Yeah, as soon as I get someone, I try to hold on to them.
This episode was so deep. Like, how can we share this episode? Like, it's gonna be on YouTube anyway.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna get Jay downstairs to cut it up into pieces, and then we'll put it on YouTube.
Yeah, I need to share this episode. It's deep.
It's deep, man. It's deep. Yeah. So currently, because the Liberty Radio YouTube channel had a bit of a problem, I'm putting it on my YouTube channel, which is Robust Life. We're coming back. Do you know when?
We're already back.
On YouTube. I didn't even get the memo. So that's beautiful. All right. So thank you, Kathleen, for being an awesome lady of sound. All right. If you want to make sure you never miss a Liberty Radio update, join us on Instagram. What's the Instagram, Kat?
It is at Official Liberty Radio.
All right. So let's go to at Official Liberty Radio on Instagram. Definitely check out Selena's antics on Selena _Green, on Instagram.
I followed, by the way.
You want a good laugh?
What you're doing?
I already followed.
Okay.
You already
Thank you for
yeah.
increasing my following.
That's it. Doing handstands and all that kind of stuff. Then you got Will to see Will's antics on Will _O. Was it?
Yeah. Well, it's because I have an O and a 0, so the O and the 0 always confuses even me. Yeah. And there's a 9 in there at the end. So literally, if you can find it off of my limited clues, fair play.
Excellent. And I hope to see you again. So guys, this has been great. All right, look, next we're going to have a program at 12 midday, which is Soul Raising Hour. We're going to have a replay Friday tomorrow, where you get to choose what program you'd like to see re-aired again. So message us on the Breakfast Show WhatsApp line. If you're not part of the Breakfast Show broadcast yet, where you get updates directly from us and can communicate with us in the studio, this is the number on your screen. Kat, what's the number?
+44 75 79 79 6845.
And again, Kat?
+44 75 79 79 6845.
That's the number right there. Say, please add me to the broadcast so that I can get updates and all the shenanigans that you guys get up to on the Breakfast Show. All right, guys. But other than that, I look forward to seeing you live on the Breakfast Show on Monday morning. Same Breakfast Show time, 8 a.m. Same Breakfast Show channel, libertyradio.co.uk, with all our Breakfast Show shenanigans. I'm really, really excited. Guys, you're awesome. And over there to the big camera, just give them a big wave and just have a robust Thursday, guys. Until next time.
Take care, everybody.
Ciao. Joy of the Lord is our strength. Okay, guys, I really hope you enjoyed that show and you actually captured that Breakfast Show Vim. We laugh, we joke, we learn, and we equip ourselves for day-to-day life. If you want to see more, guess what? We're actually live with a live chat and a live video feed Monday to Fridays on libertyradio.co.uk from 8 a.m. in the morning. So don't miss a Breakfast Show beat. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and definitely connect online. And I'd like to see you there on the show. Type your name in, communicate on the morning. If you didn't already, we're also on Instagram. Check us out on Official Liberty Radio on Instagram. There's so much happening on that platform. Definitely go check it out. And I'd love to see you there. All right, have a good one.